UK Championship and also the National Championship. And then we've got the British champion, 165, Jamie Dawson. So high quality field in the ORCI stock rods, heat number 1. So the green flag drops on ORCI stock rods, heat number 1. This class 1400cc engined machines. Strictly no deliberate contact permitted, and it's George White in 87 leading at the moment. From 97, Lauren Gray, then Connie Anderson in the 49 machine after that. So the lower graders to the fore. Keelan Ogilvie in 6:06 out there, along with Steph Halkett and 8:33. So the stock rods with 240, David Dignan now as Lewis Dixon in 3:07, all of his back bumper. Lewis taking a hat-trick of victories here when he debuted in the stock rods formula at Knockhill Summer Series last year. Graham Dignan in 4:40 slows to a halt here in the home straight. Everyone will be warned over the in-car race receiver system to go low on the home straight to avoid the 4:40 driver. All the drivers have sufficient time to take avoiding action as the challenge on for the lead then between 97 and 87 heading on to the back straight. And it's Lauren Ford and Lauren Gray, I should say, in 97, who's up into the lead. Apologies to Lauren. It's Lauren Gray, her father, former Scottish champion, 197 James Gray. So Lauren taking over the mantle in behind the race wheel. And been going very well this season, has 97. She leads down the home straight, but here comes that European champion and Scottish champion, 83, Michael Bethune. And they go into the race second place now for the 83 driver, Lewis Dixon, dropping behind 83, Michael Bethune, as Bethune now looks to hunt down the 97 driver. Cameron Doak and Jamie Dawson in 2:16 and 1:65, battling hard for position. And they are now up the inside of 87, George White for position. Further back, Peter Henderson, who raced in the stock rods back when we had racing here at the Knockhill circuit over 14-15 years ago. Obviously making a successful return to the Trioval in 2025. And Peter Henderson motivated to get back out on the track and race once again. So it's 83, Michael Bethune into the home straight as the drivers, much like the touring cars will be in August, using every inch of the track onto the rumble strips and kicking up some dust there on the back straight. 83, Michael Bethune has this car absolutely dialed in here. It's 3:07 in second as Jamie Dawson in 1:65 into third ahead of Cameron Doak in 2:16. The cars head on to the back straight. Lauren Gray now being forced out wide by 2:85. Peter Henderson, who's up and into that fifth place. But Lewis Dixon holding on in second. Nothing he can do about closing in on 83, Michael Bethune, who comes into the home straight to take the 3 lap to go board. 2:40, David Dignan out very wide, as was Lauren Gray on the back straight, as Dignan looks to close the gap on the 97 driver as they battle on into turn number 2 onto the back straight. Cameron Doak not giving up the hope of outrunning 165. Jamie Dawson for position. He is going to find that very hard work, however. 83 though, Michael Bethune comfortably in the lead in this one. He takes the final lap board for Mr. Starter. Lewis Dixon in second. Jamie Dawson holds on for third, but the slightest mistake will give 216 Cameron Doakey's chance. Heads on to the back straight once more with the 216 driver. Jinking left, junking right. There's no gap for her though as Bethune takes the win. Dixon across the line in second, with Jamie Dawson just rounding out things in third. Heat number 2. Connie Anderson leads the field away. It was Michael Bethune, the winner of the opening heat, who's trying to battle his way through the champions. And David Dignan's engine note sounded dreadful there as he passed race control, and he's an early retiree from this one. It's 49 then, down the back straight, 87. George White caught on the outside line as 97. Lauren Gray makes the move through for second, and the door left open there by Jamie Dawson, and you don't need to give Michael Bethune, the European or Scottish champions, a second's invitation when you leave the door that wide, and the 83 drivers through for that place and now at the head of that champions grade. 307 Lewis Dixon, the next driver in Bethune's sights, but it's Connie Anderson who's a newcomer into the Orci stock rods this season, and she's been putting in some very good results down at the race wall. Has had a misfortune of a blown engine on our opening meeting with us, but she put that right with some good results following. So it's 49 leads as Lewis Dixon up the inside of 87 for third place. The 307 driver gaining another spot. Cameron Doak not able to keep pace with 165 or 83 on this one as they head down the back straight. So it's still 49, Connie Anderson leading the way down onto the back straight. 307 Lewis Dixon in second, as 83 slips up the inside for third place. 165 challenging the 1/4. He's glued to the rear bumper of the European champion, but with it being a non-contact race, he can't just shove him out the way like the saloon stock cars. You have to look for the pass, and as we reach half distance, it's looking for the slightest of mistakes, which are rare from the 83 driver. One of them was when he was racing 165, Jamie Dawson, for the national championship at Cowdenbeath at the end of May, where the 83 driver clipped one of the big marker tyres and slammed into the race wall roof first. Big damage for the 83 team that was quickly repaired, and it's certainly not slowed him any as he's still battling it out here for third place with 165. The two of them reeling in 307. Lewis Dixon, who's your new race leader, heading on to the back straight. So first, second, third and fourth down the back straight they go. The 83 driver now up the inside of Connie Anderson, but he's got 165. Jamie Dawson looks to the inside. The nose was clearly, or the door was clearly slammed shut there by the 83 driver. It's 3:07, Lewis Dixon though leading into the home straight once more. The lap boards out and flying as the countdown to the checkered flag has begun. 3 and a bit laps of the circuit to go as 3:07 Lewis Dixon extends his lead past the Steph Halkett machine. It's 3:07 with 3 laps to go, 83 and 165. This battle between them two, slowing each other, hampering their progress as Graham Dignan has to get out of the way of the race leaders with 2 laps to go. 3:07 Lewis Dixon has a comfortable lead. Dawson looks to the outside line on the home straight, cuts back to the inside, the bumper to bumper. Rubbings racing, as they say in this non-contact class. Dawson cuts to the inside once more. He tries to drag 83 up the home straight. He's managed it and he's through for second. A hard-fought second place at the moment. 83 looking to come back. 165 out wide in the back straight. Bogs him down. The steward might take a look at that. 3:07 takes the victory. 83 from 2:16. The rest of the drivers come through, including the unlucky 165 Jamie Dawson with a puncture. His race is ruined. It all looked good as he snatched second, and from hope came disaster for. So the green flag drops on our third and final stock road race of the evening, the last stock road event of the 2026 Summer Series here at Knockhill. And it's 83 Michael Bethune. Looks, I think, probably to have sealed the track championship from his performances on that Saturday meeting as well as tonight. However, he's got some way to go to catch our race leaders early on in this one. It's Connie Anderson once more. 3:07 Lewis Dixon, the Heat 2 winner. So Connie Anderson it is from 97, Lauren Gray. George White in 87, as Dixon on the outside line trying to make a pass on 240 David Dignan, who himself goes out wide. Dixon looks to dive up the inside but thinks better of it, maybe just not a clear path through. And sometimes patience is a virtue, because 3:07 gets up and past 240 on the home straight. Cameron Doak finding some extra pace here in this final, ahead of 285 Peter Henderson. Then you've got 83 Michael Bethune and 165 Jamie Dawson, who enjoyed a ding-dong battle in heat number 2. And once again those two going at it and not giving an inch. David Dignan has the new ORCI champion, Cameron Doak, up the inside of him and through for that position. Peter Henderson looks to try to follow through. David Dignan doesn't quite see him and comes to close the door, then realises there is a car there. Meanwhile, up front, it's still 49, Connie Anderson. 97, Lauren Gray. From 3:07, Lewis Dixon. 87 George White has Cameron Doak, the multiple champion. It's all gone wrong for Jamie Dawson, who's tangled with 240 David Dignan. Not quite sure what started that. I certainly just saw the end of it, and that has meant that 165 is now dropped 5 or 6 car lengths back from 83 Michael Bethune, whereas before he was right on his rear bumper. This will be interesting to see how much pace 165 has and whether they can close the gap back up. But that's certainly benefiting Connie Anderson and Lewis Dixon, who are out front first and second, with Lauren Gray in third. These lower graders certainly proving tough stuff for the star graders to catch as we reach half distance, half the race still to go, as 87 goes for a wild ride here on the home straight, takes to the infield. Does a bit of grass cutting to rejoin the grid. So 49 still leads, heading on to the back straight now, got the back marking 87 in front of her, and Jamie Dawson has caught 83 Michael Bethune. He's now back to within a couple of car lengths as Peter Henderson drifts out wide as 83 gets away through. 165 fighting hard. And 83 not wanting to, and we've got drama for Steph Halkett. Looks like a front tyres, or maybe a shaft is broken, because she's come to an unusual angled halt. Relatively safe on the back straight though, the driver's receiving messages to keep wide down there on the back straight. Not something the drivers have had trouble doing all night long, as they've kicked up some of the stour down there. Meanwhile, the race leader's been caught, 307. Lewis Dixon now within a car length of the race leader. 149 and 307's gone. They've gone to the infield, and that promotes 216. Cameron Doak to the win. Oh dear, 49 was out of shape coming into the home straight. Oh, comes across the track and ruins the race leader. So 216, Cameron Doak now drops down to second. It's Beth Yoon thinking, what has he done to deserve this, because he's into the race lead. 165, Jamie Dawson spells a chance, as it's all getting a little bit scrappy out there. 83, Michael Bethune leads. He inherited that lead through others' misfortune rather than anything else. So it's 83, 165 and 216, and 216 on the outside line as Jamie Dawson forces his way up the inside. We've seen he's been able to close the gap on Bethune before, but there's only one lap to go. So a challenge now is surely not on, and in fact he's having to defend hard from 216. Cameron Doak in the battle for second. It's 83, 165 and 216 with Peter Henderson in fourth. But it's Michael Bethune who takes the victory from 165, Jamie Dawson, and Cameron Doak in third.
Well, that got a little bit spicy towards the end, but we'll let them deal with that one in the paddock. Great call, Alan. Fabulous stuff as ever.